Can you guys hear me now? All right, there we go. Sorry about that, guys. I didn't know you couldn't hear me until somebody said something. You guys hear me okay now? Let me know if you can. Awesome. Okay, cool. All right. Sorry about that, guys. I did not realize the mic wasn't working. The red light was on the mic, so I assumed that it was recording, but for some reason it was not. Now we're ready to get started. It's January 1940. I have just taken Serbia. I've decided to occupy them rather than release them. Yes, I am alive. Thank you. Joking Joker. My Xbox name, MOWERY257. I said it in the last one, but maybe you missed it. I have no way to type during the live stream because the Restream software that I'm using that broadcasts to Twitch and YouTube at the same time, I can see all of your chats in one place, but I can't type in it. So I have to open a different browser to be able to do that, and I'm not doing that right now. So MOWERY257. All right, awesome. Jeff, thank you, sir. Let's get moving. I'm going to start moving my troops over toward the Italian Republic, which is my next focus for expansion. So we're ready for a new national focus here. I want to take a look. I don't think it's still going to give me the option to do any of these things. So this is really where I want to go, but it's just not allowing that possibility. And the main thing is I need to occupy, I guess, Slovakia or Transylvania. Hungary doesn't even exist, so Bohemia, I guess, would be another target for me, but I'm not entirely sure I want to go that route. So we're going to go down here, and we're going to start focus on the Italian Republic. Joker, it's M as in Mark, so it's MOWERY257. If you want to type it, I can tell you if you have it right. I just can't type it in myself. You know, Dushan, I could put it in Discord, but I just got to try to remember to do that. Here, give me a second. I'll go ahead and do it right now. I just got to pull that up. All right, I'll let that start loading. I'll go back to it in a few minutes. All right, so I guess in the meantime, we'll keep focusing on the military and on economy. We could go here to approaching Greece. And we'll start that one up. In the meantime, I am completely out of manpower, so I've got to be really cautious about my military moving forward until I can get some more troops. All right, the Damocles Project. German spies have recently revealed the... Oh, let's slow down here. Recently revealed a mysterious and in some ways horrifying project taken up by the French and British. Dubbed the Damocles Project, it's an extensive multi-nation study into the destructive power of nuclear fission, seeking to unearth any possible weaponization. All right, so they're working on a nuclear weapon. So nukes are going to become an issue in this game at some point. We're in 1940. So I guess it's time I do the same. It's going to take about a year for that research. But if they're working on it, then I have to as well. Yes, Joker, that is correct. Now, like I said, I don't get on the Xbox very often, so don't expect to see me there too much. Okay, in the meantime, I guess we'll bring our other troops over here as well. And I'm going to need to have at least one army somewhere else in case somebody decides to get any ideas about going to war with me. So let's put them I don't know. Up here for now. So the war continues between Germany and France, which is basically our equivalent of World War II. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the current wars. That one's going to be a while. There's really not much changing, except the fact that the Germans continue to have on their side about 3 times the casualties of the enemy, and that has actually brought things a little closer together. Siam and Japan took the Union of Burma. Our ideology has grown. Excellent. So at some point, this is going to become an issue for this side in this war against these combined syndicalist forces. Syndicalists being the communists in this world. And I'm surprised that the Iberian Federation, which is the communist Spain, hasn't joined as well. We're probably going to want to gobble up. Well, no. Socialist Republic of Italy's got lots of friends, and they're in the middle of that war. Oh, Joker, that's my 5-year-old. He's playing Sonic Forces. He's probably on my account to do that. So this war justification will actually be done fairly quickly. It's going to be done in March. So we're going to be able to move in on them pretty soon. In the meantime, let's take a look at production, because obviously manpower a big issue right now. Plenty of tanks, but I'm gonna go ahead and just keep stockpiling those tanks, because at some point I'll need more of them. Just doing a little tweaking here to some things. Now we got to tweak the trade. Netherlands are close, so we'll trade with them. Portugal as well. Joker, no, I don't think you can do that, because I'm pretty sure you have to cancel military access before you can declare war on a country. Unless something has changed in that, I'm pretty sure that's how this game operates. Otherwise, people would exploit that. Yeah, I'm not gonna annex everything, but for now, I need to, just because I need the factories, I need the growth as much as I can. But at some point, I'll probably release some of those. I'm just not at that place yet. I don't know why it's still showing free military factories, because there definitely aren't any at the moment. There we go. And we got to get that manpower to start coming back up, but it's not going to for a while, because it's got to rebuild what I've lost. I appreciate it, Joker. I'm not necessarily concerned with Germanizing everybody. I'm just concerned about what helps me to be stronger and gives me the best chance to win long term in this game. If I can do that by gathering up some of the other German peoples, then I will. Obviously, Switzerland and Germany themselves, I'll probably keep on my good side as much as I can. I'm going to just slow down to only make queuing up 2 panzer divisions right now at a time. So it looks like right now France has still got a little bit of an inroad into Germany there. Let's kind of back up and see what's happening elsewhere in the world. All right, American Civil War is almost over here. I'm actually surprised the American Union state's still hanging on. Let's see where that war stands. There's so many wars going on right now. Surprisingly, only about half of their victory points have been taken. Massive casualties in that war. I guess probably because you still have the big victory points. A couple of them here: Houston, New Orleans. You've got some ones in Mississippi. You got Mobile here. A lot of victory points probably down in Florida. All right, free civilian factories. Obviously, military power not a big concern for me at the moment, just because I don't have a lot to work with, manpower-wise. So we're going to work on a little bit of infrastructure. And then I'll probably look at building some factories to get my trade up, or reduce my need to trade with others. Yeah, super heavy tanks. I'll definitely go after those at some point here. Let's take a look at the research for just a second, because my next land doctrine has just completed. Obviously, because I'm so limited in manpower, I have to be very careful. Oh, here we go. Recruitable population bonus. That'll help. I've got to be mostly focused on being efficient with a small number of forces, since I won't have a big army no matter what I do. And this will be a pretty quick war, I think, here. They've got a decent number of divisions, but nothing long-term that's really going to help them. So that's going to be any time now, and there it is. All right, so we got a couple of things happening all at once here. Approaching Greece. The Kingdom of Greece, in antiquity, the pyre of civilization, today a humiliated country with most of her territory occupied by our old allies. Greece has been romancing with Serbia, who shares a similar fate, an alliance that might become dangerous to us. Well, no, because Serbia doesn't exist anymore. So they get a facsimile from Vienna. We'll see what that means. We'll give that a little bit of time to flesh out before I go declaring war on Italy. We've got the Bulgarian problem here. So this is going to give me an annex war goal against Bulgaria. So that may be the next place we go, and that'll extend us over here to the Black Sea. How about the USA? No, I'm not sending volunteers there. First of all, it wouldn't make any difference, because I could probably only send maybe 2 or 3 divisions. They would take forever to get there, and I just don't think it's going to make a difference. Greece declines. He has no interest in our offer of protection. That's fine. It is time to go to war with Italy. And I'm not going to call my allies. I won't need them. The Italian Republic shall soon be mine. Let's take a look real quick at our air power, because obviously we need to get them over here. So we're going to get them over here, and then we'll assign them to Italy to do their thing there. Oh, National Focus canceled the Bulgarian problem. Why? Did somebody declare war on me? I wonder. Or is it because I'm at war? Okay, yeah. Okay. I thought if you started it, you'd be okay. But since we're at war, I can't do that National Focus while I'm at war. How about this one, though? Can I do that? Nope. Okay. Let's go to town. Oh, wait. Whoa. Hold on a second. Oh, maybe that's just Germany. I saw all this blue moving this way from France, and I thought maybe they were coming at me, but it's just that they're conquering German territory. I'm only at war with the Italian Republic, so I'm okay. I got a little panic there for a minute. Now, I'm going to lose men here that I can't replace. But once I get Volkstrom, I'll get some more manpower available to me. Downfall and stability, that happens when I go to war. Oh, man. Didn't think about this. I had the border there that you can't cross, but I forgot he had a little border here as well. So, all right. Let's deal with that problem. That's this force right here. We got to move them over before he goes crazy on me. But the good news is that's pulling some of his divisions out, which makes it easier for me to go down and take Milan. And then I'll come over here and stabilize this border. Yeah, if I can drive to the border with the socialist Italy here, I can surround and cut some of these divisions off for sure. And the nice thing about having a lot of panzer divisions is they move quick. And as I get my infrastructure built up, they'll move even quicker. I'm out of manpower, as expected. But we'll come in now. We'll start turning these guys around. Yeah, good idea, except I don't have paratroopers yet. It's a little early in the war yet for me to be developing paratroopers. Let's take a look. I'll show you where those are. Right here. I can research those. In fact, I'll try to remember that the next time I have a free research. I'll go ahead and develop paratroopers. And then we've got special forces, which would also be something worth developing. So, yeah, I should probably focus on those. Hey, Akis Stream. KAISERREICH, it's an alternate reality in which the Central Powers, Germany, the Ottoman Empire, and the Austro-Hungarian Empire, won the First World War. Or as it's referred to in here, the Weltkrieg, which is World War in German. So, because the Central Powers won World War I, all of the instability that led to upheaval in countries like Germany instead happens in other countries like France, England, Spain, the United States. And so the world looks very, very different as far as the politics go. France, the UK, and Spain, as well as parts of Italy, are all socialist countries. The Soviet Union does not exist. In fact, the Russians are once again under a czar, Dmitry III. Because since the Central Powers won that war, the upheaval that happened in 1917, 1918 in Russia does not take place. So just a completely different world here. And it's not going real well for me right now in this war. And a big part of that, of course, is the fact that I don't have manpower, which is always a problem as Austria. I'm having trouble trading with Portugal right now. I wish there was a medium zoom between these two, but there's not. All right. Let's go. Time to take back my country. Bicycle divisions. That makes me think of the song by Queen. I want to ride my bicycle. Yeah, Akis Stream, it's a great mod. It's a lot of fun. There's a ton of options. It's really well done. The people who developed it spent a lot of time and effort into making it immersive with the decisions and with the alternate history and all of the national focuses that exist. It's a really well done mod. It's definitely one of the best ones out there, and the options are endless as far as what you're able to do. Let me take a look at my air power for a second. Yeah, I got to get some of these guys in the Alpine region. Manpower is a real issue for me right now. All right, I'm going to have to call my allies into this war for the time being. All right. Yeah. So I've lost 28,000 men, 29,000 men. So I definitely need some help, unfortunately. All right, we've upgraded our fighters to Fighter 2. We're going to go ahead and start researching those paratroopers, as well as special forces. American Truck Sim, that's awesome. I have never tried that. I'll have to check it out. You used bicycle troops in vanilla as Russia. That's kind of awesome. I may have to try that. Speaking of which, very soon I'm going to try to announce a schedule for playing a Hearts of Iron 4 multiplayer with some of you guys. The reason I haven't done it sooner is because I'm really having a hard time coming up with a date and time that will work for enough people. Because we're all over the world and we all have different lives and different schedules, it's really hard to come up with something that not only works for me but can work for some of you as well. So I'm going to set up a specific Discord here soon, or I'll have Avenir Dutch do that. A specific Discord just for that HOI4 multiplayer. So I'll do that here as soon as I'm done with this live stream. Schwinn for the win. That's fantastic. It looks like things have turned around. I probably could have done this on my own after all, but that's okay. So we'll set that up soon. I think I'm going to be the Soviet Union if we do a World War II, which is what I'm kind of leaning toward, rather than any kind of modern day or anything like that. We may do vanilla, or at least vanilla with, or at least World War II with a few minor mods on it. Let's see. Let's trade with Russia. All right, Italy's just about done. We're moving in on them nicely now. Let's take a look at this. I've lost 57,000 men. Looks like Illyria has come in and helped out. We've evened the odds now a little bit. The Italian Republic has lost about as many men as we have. Most of his victory points have not yet been captured. Let's look at air doctrine. Still having an issue with resources. I think part of that may be the fact that I'm taking factories and we're upgrading our fighters, so let's keep doing that. Black ice. Black ice is actually probably a pretty good idea. I know it may be difficult for some because it does have a bit more of a learning curve than vanilla Hearts of Iron 4 because of the way that production is and how detailed it is. And I don't know how well that would work for multiplayer, but it's worth considering. It's something I can throw out and see what people think. We certainly could use the Black Ice mod. Imagine sitting in a trench and then seeing thousands of drunken Russians on bicycles coming in your direction. That's incredible. All right. Strategic destruction tech, ground support. See, ground support's primarily what I use my air power for. All right, come on, guys. Let's finish these guys off. Abyssinia declared war on Eritrea. So that's down in Africa. Eritrea revolts. So that's down here. We've got a little war going on, and it looks like Eritrea is off to a nice start. Let's take a look real quick at the U.S. That one's still advancing. Boy, all the way along the front, they're trying to finish them off as best they can. We've still got the war going on down here between Central America and the United Provinces of America. So Central America is kind of merging into one power with all of those nations. The war continues between Mexico and the Pacific states, who seem to have the upper hand. Looking over here, Finland's got a nice chunk of territory. And of course, Mongolia continues marching into Siberia in the eastern central parts of Russia over there. Japan's got a nice little chunk of Southeast Asia. And France continues to do pretty well in Germany. At some point, I may... Boy, but I just don't have them. If I had more manpower, maybe I'd jump in and try to help out here. But I just don't know. Alright, so we've got a couple of armies that aren't doing anything at the moment. So we got to move them in. So we can finish this off. Old World Blues mod. You were telling me about that. I'd have to check it out. There's vodka wobbles. Now we got another Panzer Division. Not sure where we're getting the manpower for it. Let's see where we're at. Volkstrom, still about 4 months away, but that'll give me at least a little bit of a bonus to recruitable population. Alright, we got one more army that we've got to get over here on the border. It's tough to march armies that are not nearly high enough in terms of their strength. Just looking at some of these, like right here. This infantry division, where's their strength at? Well, the easiest way to look at it would be to go over here to recruitment. And we're about 60,000 short on manpower right now. Nobody's marching in. I'm not sure why that is. Let's just do this manually. I wish I was on the modern day mod where I had a bunch of nukes and I could just nuke some of these units before I attack them. Man. Alright, let's see the situation here. I've lost 76,000 men. He's lost 82. He doesn't have that many divisions. Kind of a cool video I'm working on. Avenir Dutch is one of, well, he is my actually #1 patron right now. He's the first one to go up at the level where he gets to request custom videos on a topic of his choice. And so I'm working on one right now for him. It's something I've never done before. I've done videos in addition to my gaming videos where I've been at a historic site, visiting and talking a little bit about it, but I've never just done a specific video where I just address a topic from home. So I'm going to be doing that, and he requested something to do with the American Revolutionary War. And I thought I would do something that maybe would help people learn something even if they know a lot about the Revolution. So what I'm researching is, I know that there are a lot of connections between the United States' history at the Revolutionary War and then down through history as far as people. So, for example, and I've mentioned this before, there's a general who was a close friend of George Washington during the Revolutionary War. His name was Hugh Mercer. And Hugh Mercer was there with him when they defeated the Hessians at Trenton. And then he was mortally wounded a week later at Princeton in the early parts of the Revolutionary War. Hugh Mercer was a great-great-grandfather of General George Patton, one of the Americans' most well-known and widely regarded commanders during World War II. So there are a lot of connections like that. Alexander Hamilton, who's really big in the news right now, had a couple of grandsons who were generals in the American Civil War. So I'm going to do a video just kind of highlighting some of those connections between past and present. Obviously, I know that a lot of you are not Americans, but hopefully you'll still find it interesting, just as I find a lot of your history to be very interesting. So we're just about done taking out Italy here. So you guys can watch for that video sometime in the next week or so, in addition to my regular gaming videos. And if it's something you want to have me do, you can check out the Discord. All right, so German East Asia has capitulated. Japan continues to march into Asia. At some point, they're probably going to run into some issues with Mongolia and Tibet. But down here, you see the Empire of Japan. They've also taken this here. They're just about finished off. So going to be interesting to see how that all shakes out. Japan's got this here too. So this is who they're fighting right now. Deutsch Ostasian. So yeah, if you listen, I understand, and I don't kind of push the Patreon thing real too often, just because I appreciate all of your support and all your participation, just for being a part of this channel, watching the videos, joining these live streams. But there are some things available by becoming a patron that aren't available just necessarily to everyone. And I'm always willing to hear new ideas on things that I can offer to people as part of that Patreon. So let's see if we can take everything. Apparently I can. All right. Austrian Empire has annexed the Italian Republic. HOI4 for Millennium Dawn, absolutely. I love Millennium Dawn. Be prepared, Art of Fire. Hearts of Iron 4, probably more than most games that I play, is very hard on your system. So you either have to turn the graphics way down or make sure you have at least a decent system. I don't have a great computer. I don't have the money to pour into like a $2,000 gaming system. Hopefully someday I will. As this channel grows, that opportunity will present itself. But it's hard on your system, and especially Millennium Dawn more than most. Some people say it crashes a lot for them. I don't have a lot of problem with crashing, but it doesn't go real fast either as far as the simming goes. But definitely worth it. It's one of my favorite mods to play. Seems to be very popular. Road to 56. Oh, that's Dushine. That's actually a really good idea. I like that idea. All right, so let's take a look real quick at where things stand. Got a lot of things I've got to kind of deal with. I don't think I want to go after the Socialist Republic of Italy, but I do need at some point to consider the possibility of trying to help Germany out, because I think they're going to go down fairly soon here. Poor Kaiser Wilhelm, who should be dying soon. I'm trying to remember. I'll have to take a look real quick, but I think he died around 1940, 41. So I'm assuming that they'll have him die historically, but I could be wrong about that. I'm looking it up now. Oh, he died June 4th, 1941. Okay. So he's got a little bit of time left. Germany may not have that long. All right, so I guess the next thing is going to be to, as soon as this national focus is complete, I can go back to focusing on Bulgaria. Germany and Japan have signed a white peace. Here we go. We now have to decide what to do with Italy. We can't control those territories forever, and we might have to think about creating a puppet Italian state. Haha, balkanize Italy and make the royal house come back to Piedmont. Interesting. Of course, stability and war support continue to take hits as I gobble up these countries. But for now, I'm going to do it. All right, now I need to move over to the front line with Bulgaria with 2 of my armies. The third one we'll keep over here. We just got to keep an eye on what's happening right here for now. All right. Japan just declared war on the Russian Empire. Boy, that is not good news for Russia. They're already embroiled in that war against Mongolia. All right, one more time we're going to take a look and see. Still can't do military occupation. Back over here. Where was I? Oh, it's up here, that's why. The Bulgarian problem. Yeah, Artifier, big difference between HOI 3 and HOI 4 as far as what you need as far as your system goes. So I would definitely consider upgrading. If you got one that cost that much, I think you'd be in good shape. Because mine didn't cost that much. I spent about, oh boy, 600 on my desktop, and then bought a solid state hard drive for it, and then also a dedicated graphics card. I have a GeForce TE 1050, I think it is. So it's about one of the lower end ones that you can get. That's a dedicated graphics card that really makes a big difference for you. They kind of go up in price from there. So, all right, Iran and the Ottoman Empire have signed a white peace. So once I get everything kind of reset here, we'll take a look and see what's happening in the rest of the world. I may send armies to help Germany if I can get my manpower under control. I'm just going to keep building tanks right now, even though I don't have the manpower to use them. Oh, Jeff, I agree. It's good value. I'm just saying it's not like the highest end graphics card you can get, but bang for your buck, absolutely. That's why I went with that one. You do Dietrich's sim race. That's really cool. I've heard a lot of great things about that. I've heard that it takes a lot of skill. Are you in any of the leagues, things like that? Interesting. Canada has a beachhead in the UK. That's fascinating, but it looks like they're getting driven off really fast. You got the 1066 gigabytes. Yeah, that's nice. I'd like to have that. $400 wheel and pedals. Yeah, that's what I mean. I know that folks who do the sim racing are hardcore and really dedicated to it, and I admire that you're a part of that. Just not something that I have the time or necessarily a desire for. Racing's not. I like to play for fun on racing games, but I know it takes a lot of skill to do sim racing and do it well. But I can imagine it's got to be an incredible thrill and a lot of excitement to be a part of that. I've seen some of the racers here in the United States talk about how some of those folks involved in sim racing have actually ended up in careers in real racing because of it. iRacing, very cool, nice. All right, we're having trouble trading with the Russians right now. Really not a lot of good options as far as trade goes. So let's keep working on our medium tanks to get those updated and ready to go. See where we are on 51 days until we get Volksturm. Finally, I'll start getting some of that manpower back up. 144 days for atomic research. Paratroopers are close, but I'm not going to have any anytime soon because I don't have the manpower to produce new units. Hungary, Bulgaria. So when we do the multiplayer, it's definitely going to be kind of a whatever people choose. I'll have everybody pick ahead of time who they want to be so we kind of know going in. And I know a lot of times when I've played multiplayer, people put a lot of restrictions and rules. I'm not necessarily going to do that. I think everybody could kind of decide their own fate however they choose. Artifier, that's not a bad idea. I mean, if you're going to get the game anyway and you're able to get a new computer, then get it, try it out, see how it works out on your system, and then go from there. Oh, Afterburner. I've downloaded the software Afterburner do shine, but I haven't actually kind of played with it too much yet. Got about 15 more minutes. We'll play this. Just a reminder for those of you who may not know, or maybe new to it, I'm doing this KAISERREICH live stream twice a week, Tuesdays and Fridays at 1 p.m. Eastern time here in the U.S., which would be, well, it's 1:45 right now here, so whatever time that would be for you. And for about an hour each time until we're complete, until it feels like there's not much more left to be done. I want to take a look at my air power for a second here. Oh, I don't have the manpower. Of course. So I'm not sure what's going to happen when the Bulgarian problem is complete. It looks like I'll have a war goal. I don't know how long I'll have to use that. There's special forces and paratroopers. That'll come in handy at some point, just not right now. So because I can't produce a lot of new units, it probably makes sense to just upgrade what I already have. So things like that, infantry equipment. Dushine, if you look, I'm sure there are YouTube videos of people talking about that. I've found some websites talking about what the right settings would be for what you want to do. Sorry, my wife was making faces at me in the other room. All right, the end of the American Civil War. The bloodiest conflict ever to descend on the New World is over, and as sobbing widows bury their dead husbands and sons, the last traces of the old regime are being swept away by the American Revolution, headed by the combined syndicates of America. The old capitalist system is being dissolved and replaced with an organization similar to that of France and Britain. So, in other words, all of the old allies, basically, with the exception of Russia. So you've got the UK, France, Spain, part of Italy, and now most of the United States are all socialist, as well as Brazil. So yeah, that's the big menace right now, and I am in no position to do anything about it unless I can get myself some manpower. So here's the Bulgarian problem. So there's my available war goal. I just don't think I can handle another war right now. What about over here? Intervention in Romania, I can't do because there's no Romanian civil war going on. I'm running out of options right now. What do I have down here? Nothing. I wish there was something with manpower. All right, so I need to own this one Hungarian territory to take status quo. That may be what I have to do in order to open up these options. Where is that territory? Anybody know off the top of their head where that territory is that it's saying I need to have? As my wife says, go Steelers. Yeah. Well, Dushine, I think that they're considering the Civil War to be between the two main factions of the U.S., the North and South. The Pacific states weren't at war with those other countries. So the country that it's, or the territory it's talking about, ESZAK, Magyarország. That's why I'm assuming it's got to be somewhere in Hungary, because Magyar is the word, is a word associated with Hungary. I don't see it though. Oh, it's right here. So I do control it. I don't know what the problem is. Go Chiefs. I don't mind rooting for the Chiefs. In fact, the Browns, who I root for, our new GM is from the Chiefs. Oh, I guess I have to not own that. Okay, gotcha. We can't choose any of these. Well, that's frustrating because it kind of really limits my options. All right. Fighter Ace Initiative coming up. Volksturm coming up in 16 days. That'll be helpful. Let's keep an eye on the wars. So this is the only war right now that looks like it's close to being done. And it's a pretty minor one. South African Civil War. Very close to being done as well. Russian Empire declared war on Azerbaijan. That's over here in central parts of Asia, right there. So I'm surprised they haven't gone after Georgia yet. Alright, Fighter Ace Initiative. Let's take a look at armor real quick. We can get heavy tanks, but again, I'm going to try to upgrade what I already have rather than trying to produce new units at the moment. I could do some oil, but I think I'm good on oil at the moment. So I can do some little upgrades to my existing things. Let's do that. So we're into November 1940 now. A time when France had already been overrun by the Nazis in our historic timeline. Definitely not the case here. In fact, Germany, I'm curious to know where they stand in this war. So German Empire's 25% toward capitulation. There we go. That should help with manpower a little bit, at least. And another boost to recruitable population available right here. So every little bit's going to help. Let's see how many I need just to get back to even. Oh, we're actually getting close. Oh, no. I still need about 104,000 just to get back to full strength. That's going to take some time. Hey, Taylor, how's it going? Hello. You can always go back and watch later. Usually within about an hour of the end of the live stream, the video should be done processing, and it should go live on my channel. So you'll be able to go back and see what you missed at any time. Yeah, Germany's going to be done here soon, and I'm honestly, my manpower being what it is, I just don't know how I'm going to stand up to the socialist menace in the world. I may just have to be content to carve out my own little niche here in Southeast Europe and find strong enough friends at some point. Illyria is kind of sitting there making me wish I had them. Joker, would love to, but like I said, I'm very rarely on the Xbox just because my schedule and my time do not allow it very much. And usually we've got 2 Xbox Ones in our house, and usually of my 3 children at any given time, 2 of them are on them. At some point it'll happen, but definitely not going to be today. I've got a meeting tonight. Let's take a look here. All right, we're going to keep doing these little upgrades. Russia, yeah, maybe at some point. Let's see how Russia's doing. They've got Mongolia and Japan just kind of gobbling them up right now. We've got to consider this whole Bulgarian thing. Okay, manpower went up to 11,000 and quickly disappeared, but what that means is we're refilling these reinforcements. Okay. Goodness gracious, still need a ton. Republic of Iran declared war on Azerbaijan. It won't really fix my manpower problem because the countries that you take over, you only get like a country like Russia. I'm not going to be able to just take, I don't think, their territory. I'd probably have to end up occupying it, and you get a very small percentage of those. But maybe Bulgaria is the way to go. Yeah, I still have that. Okay, here's the problem. Look at their diplomacy. They're part of the Reichspakt. Now, granted, Reichspakt not doing so well in the war right now. In fact, it may be that I can get myself on the side of the socialists at that point. But they've got allies. They're part of this huge faction, so I guess I really don't have that option right now without incurring the wrath of a bunch of countries that I can't fight. Why did Iran steal whose flag? Let me see. Russian Empire took Azerbaijan. No big surprise there. They're getting gobbled up by these other countries, and they just decided to go to war and take something back. Looks like, oh yeah, they're fighting against Turkestan as well. 61 days until... So there's actually multiple things that we can do with these. This is kind of cool, actually. Just little improvements that can be made to my tanks. When you don't have manpower, you have to do whatever you can to make your fighting force a little bit better. It looked black in the little picture. Yeah, I gotcha. Start Lend-Leases to fill out more equipment. Equipment's not really a huge issue for me right now because I'm producing plenty of everything. It's just that I don't have the manpower to use the equipment. All right, let's take a look at infrastructure again. I want to get my infrastructure maxed out eventually. That's good for now. What about Illyria? Of course, they're part of my faction, and I don't think I can invite anybody to the faction. If I could, it would probably tell me that. Let's try to improve our relationships with the Germans a little bit. I could send volunteers, but again, my manpower being as it is, that doesn't necessarily make a lot of sense for me. My army's now up to 515,000, so I'm slowly getting that strength back up. Yeah, I do. I mean, there's nothing wrong with having stockpiles of equipment for when I do have manpower. Now Mongolia's got another person to contend with. Let's take a look at these wars. The British-German War. Man, the losses Germany is suffering is just crazy. 4 million on the Reichspakt side. Only 1.5 million here. We're just going to continue upgrading the military as much as I can. We'll go down here and get this rocketry technology bonus so I can start developing those. I'm so tempted to want to go in on this war with Germany to help them out if I just had the manpower to do it. Alright, that one's already researching. So another 6 months or so, I'll get non-discriminatory conscription. That'll give me another boost to that population recruitable. Those things are big help. I wonder if now I'm able to go in and change my conscription laws, because before I couldn't because the enemy didn't have enough forces to make it necessary for scraping the barrel. Still not there. You have to have an estimated enemy strength ratio of 100% or more compared to your army, and I just don't have that. Don't even have 60%. You scared of German sausages. You fear the worst. I don't know whether to groan or laugh. All right, we're going to wrap this up here in a minute or so. I'll go ahead and take it to the end of January unless something really interesting happens, but we're at the hour now. So, as always, I welcome you guys' comments and questions and observations. Please check out the Patreon page, the Discord page. I'm going to set up the Hearts of Iron 4 multiplayer page on Discord here as soon as I'm done with this live stream. And I'll post a couple of options for times and dates that would work and see if anybody's available during those times. And if we can get even maybe 6 or 7 people together, I want to try and make that happen as soon as I can. The Wi-Fi you're using is also the worst. Well, I'm lucky in that I got a new router. We've got pretty good internet here, and the router's set up in the office. So I've actually got my desktop hooked up through a Ethernet connection, so I'm not even using Wi-Fi, so it's a lot more stable that way. Hey, William, sorry, I'm just about to check out here in a minute, but hello as always. I am just about ready. Speaking, William made me think of this. Just about ready to start invading Washington, D.C. in Ultimate General Civil War on Legendary mode. Got a few more things I got to do to kind of tweak my army. I'm getting them built and ready for the invasion. So probably next day or two you should see that video coming up live. Looking forward to seeing what happens if I can actually do this. Japan and Mongolia have signed a white peace. It's the sausage. You guys are funny. All right, so just taking a look at where things stand here at the end of January. First atomic research is almost complete. Working on upgrading some things for my military, my tanks. Improved infantry equipment's about to happen. Army's up to 550,000 men. I'm about to complete another. Actually, it's this one here, discriminatory conscription. Is going to give me another boost to my recruitable population. And that is where we will wrap this up at the end of January. So as always, guys, I thank you so much for participating in these short little live stream sessions. My apologies for the hiccup at the beginning with the sound, but everything's working now. We'll see you again on Friday with the next episode, guys. So thanks, take care, and we'll see you on Friday. Have a great week, everybody.